You're ready.
We're live?
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to welcome everyone to the September 25th, 2023 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Jeff Benton, President of the Board. Do introductions. To my left is Vice President, fellow Commissioner Gary Merrill. To my right is fellow Commissioner Barb Lewis. Our Administrator Tracy Davies. Deputy Administrators Don Houston, Eric Hostetler are here today, and our clerks are Allie Glusich and Jennifer Walraven. We can begin.
Resolution number 23-806, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held September 18th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 23-806. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today, so that brings us to item number 3, resolution number 23-807, in the matter of approving purchase orders, then and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0922 and memo transfers in batch number MT APR 0922.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 23-807. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-808, in the matter of adopting a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Any comments, Tracy or Don or Eric?
Good morning, Commissioners. Tracy Davies, County Administrator. This is just the determination by the Budget Commission that they're recommending for the coming year.
Okay. Any other comments, discussion? Vote, please.
Vote on motion 23-808. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-809, in the matter of accepting the treasurer's report for the month of August 2023.
So moved. I'm sorry. Second.
Discussion? Rick?
Rick Carr, Chief Investment Officer for the Treasurer's Office. We just wanted to point out that we're on track this year to bring in close to $11.8 million of additional interest to the general fund. That is well over twice of what was done last year, and we continue to move that forward with a good cash flow projection for next year each month as we move forward. Thank you. Any questions? Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Vote, Jennifer?
Thank you.
Vote on motion 23-809. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-810, in the matter of declaring county personal property not needed for public use and authorizing the sale of personal property to Deputy Todd M. Barnhart on the occasion of his retirement.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. Thanks for having me here today. It's John Scowden, Chief Deputy with Delaware County Sheriff's Office. This is Deputy Sheriff Todd Barnhart. He's going to be retiring as of October 1st, but actually your last day in the office is Thursday, correct? So I just wanted to read a little bit about him for this, for everybody. Deputy Sheriff Todd Barnhart will retire on October 1st after 28 years of service to the Delaware County Sheriff's Office, which started on May 22nd, 1995. Todd grew up in Champaign County and graduated from Graham High School. Todd has served in several areas throughout his career, serving as a patrol deputy, court services deputy, a member of the Marshals Task Force for over 10 years, and a drug task force detective, which is his current assignment. When asked what his most memorable event from his career was, he said, "I was on the Marshals Task Force and we had just received training on first aid and how to apply a tourniquet. Well, I was driving back to the county when I heard an injury crash with a motorcycle. I responded and helped the motorcyclist. I applied a tourniquet, which I was told probably saved his life. The motorcyclist was also one of our deputy's father-in-laws." When asked what his favorite assignment was, he said, "My favorite assignment was a U.S. Marshal Service deputy. I felt we were truly doing something worthwhile and serving a real purpose. That purpose was to find and arrest some of the worst criminals that prey on society." Todd will be missed not only for his dedication, but for the integrity he brought to the profession and to every aspect of his life, which serves as an example to others. Todd is not totally done with law enforcement, though. While he is retiring from the Delaware County Sheriff's Office as a full-time deputy, he intends to become a special deputy with the office in the upcoming months, continuing to serve our great county. On behalf of Sheriff Balzer and the entire Delaware County Sheriff's Office, I want to thank Todd for his dedicated service to our country, our community, and wish him continued good health and happiness in his retirement. So, Todd, would you like to say anything?
It's just been a joy serving the community for 28 years, and we just hope you made a difference in a life or two somewhere along the way.
Great. Comments?
Yes, I mean, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you are willing to stay on, too. That's great. That's
Well, I was
great.
gonna say you're not old enough to retire, you'll look like, so you're not, so I guess that answers my question. So, appreciate your service.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, thank you very much,
Yes,
Deputy Barnhart. And
absolutely.
Chief, again, we have a great team in the sheriff's office, and the residents are definitely benefited by having such a outstanding leadership, both here and in the cities and townships and so on. So, thank you all.
Great.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Deputy.
Vote, Jennifer?
Vote on motion 23-810, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Resolution number 23-811, in the matter of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners accepting and approving the Prevention, Retention, and Contingency Program for the Department of Job and Family Services Public Assistance Program.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Good morning, Bob Anderson with Job and Family Services. This is our PRC plan that needs approved every 2 years. So we review the plan as we move forward with it, but every 2 years we sit down and make any necessary changes. And we also present that to the Family Services Planning Committee, which has reviewed it and showed their support for this. And really, this plan is just cleaning up language and also taking out a couple provisions that are no longer funded by our state or federal dollars. The majority of the plan is used for school readiness. We've served over 800 children this year for the school year, which is up from last year. The remainder of our program, the scope of services, is minimal because we have our other funding that supports those, and this is all funded through TANF, which is federal dollars.
Okay. Other comments? Thank you, Bob. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 23-811, Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. And like to ask Bob just to explain a little bit about the governor's new department. I learned about it the other day when I was at Children and Families First, and I know it's going to affect them and then also JFS.
Yeah, so with the budget bill, a new department was created called Department of Children and Youth. They are combining different services provided by 6 different state agencies. The larger programs that are going to be brought into this new department includes Children's Services, which will affect us directly over Job and Family Services, the Ohio Trust Fund, early intervention, publicly funded child care, which again is something that we determine eligibility on, early childhood education, preschool special education, the Ohio Fatherhood Commission, our FCFC, which we're the administrative agent for as well, Healthy Beginnings, mental health consulting, and Strong Families, Safe Communities, which again, it helps fund our FCFC. So it was formed with the budget bill. They have until January of 25 and to develop the department and the policies and bring the state employees into it from all these other agencies. The governor's built a great team. At least 3 that I think of off the top of my head have worked with us at the county level with JFSs, so they know our business. We will have close contact with them throughout, and hopefully we have a say as they continue to develop the program.
Boy, that's great. I know this has been one of the governor's initiatives all through pushing legislation and through his executive orders, helping families and children. And it's boy, I mean, it's a very ambitious undertaking.
Yes, it is. It's going to be a heavy lift. That's a lot of departments to bring in together. And I think Kara Wente, who's the new director, she has worked in Job and Family Services for a very long time. She actually started, I believe, as administrative assistant and has worked her way up to the director level of a new department. And she's bringing in, I sat in a meeting and they did have representation from all the departments, so the transition team is vast and is bringing knowledge from all the different programming. 25 is going to come very quickly for them, but
Yes.
I'm
gosh.
confident that it's going to be a better system moving
Yeah.
forward.
Will JFS still be standing by itself, and it won't be just under this department?
Correct. So we're going to actually be governed by 3 state departments, Department of Medicaid, Ohio Job and Family Services, and now this new department. So
Okay.
since we're a combined agency, we will be working with all 3 of those departments from the state level.
Oh, boy, that's a challenge.
Yes.
Lots of bosses.
Hopefully they're all going in the same direction.
Hopefully.
Yeah, thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Jennifer?
Item number 8, resolution number 23-812, in the matter of recognizing September 2023 as Grandparent Kinship Month in Delaware County.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Lynn Stacy for the Department Protective Services Unit. We always work to find kinship placements, and kinship can mean extended family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, could be your next door neighbor if the child has an established relationship, teachers as well. So I'm happy to report that right now we have 15 children who are placed in the temporary custody of a kinship provider. That includes 12 kids who are with their grandparents and 3 who are placed with biological aunts. And to compare that, we have 23 children in temporary custody in foster homes, residential and/or group homes. And we have 6 kids in permanent custody, all but 1 of who has been matched with an adoptive family. So our numbers are pretty comparable, and we truly work to find the best, most appropriate placement. Sometimes we have family members who say they just can't do it. Funding is one thing. Childcare, most of these folks work. Some are on a fixed income through retirement. We had 50 families that we helped since January 1 with finding resources, identifying child care providers, could be finding medical providers, and linking to Medicaid. So that's what we've been doing, and we're honored to support and honor all of our kinship relatives. Any questions?
Comments or questions?
Just a great
Sure.
job. I mean, that's wonderful, finding all those placements. My gosh. It's not easy, I am certain. Thanks for all your work, Lynn.
In a county of 225,000 people, to have really that few people, although youth who clearly need work, and you guys are doing a great job. So I don't think that need will ever go away, unfortunately, but we are there and ready to help when we do need to do it. Comments, other comments?
I
Commissioner
don't think I
Merrill?
really have anything to add. The work that RJFS does, and specific in this area, is something that I think we all have a passion for, and I get, on a percentage basis, we do have less of a challenge than some of the other counties, and that's a good thing, but if you're in a bad situation, it doesn't matter what the percentages are, it affects you personally, so thank you and everybody involved.
Thank you.
Yeah, we do have a proclamation,
Yes, we do.
and it's signed, and it does recognize September 2023 as Grandparent/Kinship Month. And again, congratulations. Would you like to get a picture?
Sure.
Can we get a vote first? Vote on motion
We'll vote first.
23-812. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye. All right, it's official.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer?
Item number 9, resolution number 23-813, in the matter of authorizing the submittal of a local sponsor application to the Ohio Department of Agricultural Office of Farmland Preservation.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Rebecca Longsmith, Delaware Soil and Water Conservation District. This is to authorize the application for us, for yourselves and us to serve on your behalf as local sponsors in 2024. That will not only allow new applications, but allow us to take advantage of just over $155,000 of leftover crumb money that the state has by allowing the 2 other applicants that were passed over this year to be funded next.
Okay, vote, please.
Vote on motion 23-813, Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Rebecca.
Resolution number 23-814, in the matter of accepting the addendum award of the Community Corrections Grant for the Adult Court Services Department.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lewis, Benton, and Merrill. Mark Taglione, Chief PO, Adult Court Services. I'm here this morning to respectfully request that we be permitted to accept additional grant funds from the Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. The additional grant amount is $26,548. This will bring the total amount for FY 24-25 to $707,516. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
Is this about how it is in the past? Has it been this amount?
And recently, in the past couple of years, the department has given what equals a 5% increase, so I think they have extra money, and they want to distribute it to local communities for community supervision. And in the past, it's been 5% extra, and that's what this one
Okay.
is as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Vote, Jennifer?
Vote on motion 23-814, Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number
Thanks, Mark.
23-815, in the matter of approving a transfer of appropriation for the Regional Sewer District.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. So we're transferring $100,000 between funds within the O&M org key. This is for increases in both polymer and bioxide costs for this year in 2023. Also, we're going to be buying some new carbon filters for the Neutralox unit, which is an odor control unit at the Allen Creek plant with this money.
Okay. Questions, comments? Vote, please.
Vote on motion 23-815, Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-816, in the matter of approving a professional services agreement with DLZ Ohio Incorporated for design services related to the Jewett Road Trunk Sewer Improvement Project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So this is a project to increase 242 feet of 18-inch sewer that needs to be upsized to 24-inch sewer. We have a hydraulic bottleneck that's at the corner of Jewett Road and 315. So we're getting out ahead of the ODOT roundabout project that is, I think it's anticipated to start in 2025. So we're trying to get this project done and out of the way before that. We're, of course, coordinating with ODOT so that we, make sure that we're, in the appropriate places with our manholes that will be placed in this location at this intersection. Cost is $50,000 for this preliminary study, and then also the design and bidding efforts, and then we'll go directly into construction after that.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering, I assume this was in coordination with the roundabout project there.
Yep.
That's a real bottleneck.
Yeah, we were hoping to be
Intersection.
able to do it with their project, but that just wasn't seeming to work out, so we're going to get out ahead of their project.
Good, good. Okay. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 23-816, Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-817, in the matter of approving a water users agreement with Delco Water Company Incorporated for water service at the Olentangy Environmental Control Center.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So this is in conjunction with some previous resolutions we've had on session for that new 6-inch water service that we're getting from Delco. It'll be servicing that new screen building that's currently under construction at OECC.
Okay. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 23-817, Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-818, in the matter of approving a backflow prevention agreement with Delco Water Company for the Olentangy Environmental Control Center.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So this is another standard agreement with Delco. It's basically stating that we do not have an auxiliary water system at the plant, and we will not install one without their approval.
Okay. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 23-818, Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
For our monthly update from Director Mag.
Stay
I know. Make sure.
Do I need to do something over here, Jennifer?
Here we go.
Just went to sleep. Sorry. You took too long to get here.
Yep, that's right. Thank you. Okay, so we just had a few, I'll wait till you can see it there. We recently had an update about 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, so there's just a few projects on for September right now. The first one is Clarkshaw Reserve. This is probably one of the last phases of Clarkshaw over there near Stites Road, 61 lots by Pulte. It's kind of one of the last areas that's undeveloped in Clarkshaw, off of that trunk sewer. So that's 61 units by Pulte, off Stites, south of Clarkshaw Road. And then Eagle Creek, this was on session about a week and a half ago with the TAP credits. This is for Section 1, Phase A, and then also Phase B, Phase 1A and 1B. 47 lots in Phase 1A, and then I think 35 lots in Phase 1B. And these are in the city of Sunbury. And then finally, North Star Goldwell Neighborhood, Section 2 is 71 lots on the north side of Wilson Road. So with that, take any questions.
Any questions? Okay. A lot of activity.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tiffany. Okay.
Item number 16, resolution number 23-819, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
Second?
Discussion.
Morning, Rob Riley, Chief Deputy Engineer. We have 5 permits for you today. These are all typical utility installation permits.
Okay, vote please.
Vote on motion 23-819, Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-820, in the matter of approving a drainage maintenance petition and a ditch maintenance assessment for the Shire.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
The Shire is a small condominium development off of Cheshire Road, just basically inside the unincorporated village of Cheshire, east of Africa Road. This action would place the stormwater management system on the county's drainage maintenance program.
Okay. Vote please.
Vote on motion 23-820, Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Resolution number 23-821, in the matter of approving an advance of funds.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Justin Navi, Director of Finance. This first request has been submitted to approve cash advances for 3 ditch project debt service funds prior to the principal and interest payments that are due in December.
Okay. Vote please.
Vote on motion 23-821, Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 23-822, in the matter of approving an advance of funds.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Great. Thanks, Commissioners. This secondary request is for an advance of funds, and this is in relation to the Kilbourne Improvements Project, and this project is financed through a reimbursable state grant.
Yeah, and again, Kilbourne's really continuing to improve and get a lot of these projects done, so it's great to see. Vote please.
Vote on motion 23-821. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put director on the display. Vote on motion 23-821, Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
It is now past 9:45, so we may begin our public hearing number 1 for the proposed adoptions of changes to the building code of Delaware County.
Okay. Do I have an instruction sheet on this, Jennifer? Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Anyway, I thought I had one. Okay, this is the first hearing of 2 that we're required to have. I'll go through the process today. I'd like to welcome everyone to the first hearing for consideration of proposed adoption of changes to the building code of Delaware County. There is a sign-in sheet circulating the room. We ask you please sign the sheet to indicate your attendance. Here's what we'll do today. We'll hear a presentation from Dwayne Matlack, Chief Building Official, Department of Building Safety. Following the presentation, there'll be time for questions from the board. After board questions, the board will hear from any interested persons that wish to testify. Before accepting testimony for or against the proposed adoption of changes to the building code of Delaware County, the board will acknowledge receipt of any written testimony before hearing live testimony. We'll first call all those wishing to testify in favor of the proposed changes. We'll then call all those wishing to testify in opposition to the proposed changes. Before testifying, you will be asked to take an oath. The board will close the first public hearing after all testimony has been presented. And the second hearing is scheduled for Monday, October 2nd, 2023 at 9:45 a.m. So with that, we will turn it over to Dwayne Matlack.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dwayne Matlack, Department of Building Safety. The code that we bring before you is text amendments for that Delaware County Building Code. Soil and Water needed to revise the text to allow them to review lots less than 5 acres for drainage and erosion, or drainage. That is the key or the main issue. The code hadn't been looked at in 10 years, so we went through it again and made minor changes to code language just to make it reflect current code or statute. And that is, for the most part, all that pertains to these changes.
Okay. Comments, questions from the board about the changes?
No comment.
I
Okay.
just think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
obviously,
can,
yeah, things
less-
continue to change and
Yeah.
you
less
need to
than
review.
5 acres.
Okay, so we've heard from Chief Building Official in the Department of Building Safety, so now we'll open it up. Well, we didn't have any written testimony. I see.
No
Didn't
written
recall
testimony
seeing
was
any.
turned in.
Okay. So now we'll first call all those wishing to testify in favor of the proposed changes. Okay, again, last chance, anyone wishing to testify in favor of the proposed changes? Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on to ask for anyone who wishes to speak in opposition to the proposed changes. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the proposed changes? Okay, with that, seeing no one wishing to speak, we will now close the first public hearing. And as we mentioned before, the second hearings and presumably final hearing is scheduled for Monday, October 2nd, 2023 at 9:45.
Thank you. That brings us to administrator reports.
Okay, administrator reports.
Good morning,
Tracy.
Commissioners. Tracy Davies, County Administrator. Just an additional comment back on the tax budget with the Budget Commission. I was remiss in noting that it did include the property tax rollback for 2024 for the 2023 rates from 1.8 mils to 1.3 mils, then continuing with that rollback for the following year.
Yeah. Yeah, again, pleased to be able to do that for the taxpayers of Delaware County, again, for another year, and it's good to see the formal action. So anything else? Tracy?
That's it.
Okay, Dawn?
I have nothing.
Eric? All right, Commissioner Merrill?
You know, a lot going on, busy week last week with the fair, and I know we were out there a lot last week. I think that's about every day with some activity going on. I also had a CCO retreat Thursday afternoon late and Friday, and then our board meeting to follow Friday morning. And we were all at the Veterans Dinner, always well attended, always a great opportunity to support our veterans. And this year, and I'm going to say this is probably about the 10th or the 11th year. I think it began about the time I took office initially, and it's always a great opportunity to say thank you. And of course, we also were all at the same event last night, the Intel Harvest event, which was extremely well attended. And from the groundbreaking we attended roughly a year ago to now, it's amazing the changes that have occurred at that site. And we took bus tours of the area before we met for a conversation and ultimately some speakers, including our Lieutenant Governor. And very impressive, the progress has been made, but more impressive is the work that's still got to be done.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
Oh, my gosh.
that's what it is.
Okay. Commissioner Lewis?
Veterans Dinner is always a very special event. Boy, I don't know how many people were there. I know
600 or 700, I
at
think.
least, yeah, 600 or 700 people, and we have so much to thank our veterans for, and so it's a real pleasure. We got to serve the food, which is, and it's a big group, so we had to hustle.
Yeah,
So we could keep everybody happy. And the tour by bus of Intel and the progress that has been made was amazing. It just, the scope of the project, and talked about water and the new uses for water that can be made. But it just amazing. It's all the stats then on how clean the fab plant will be to keep the chips clean, and oh my gosh, and the concrete too.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah, the concrete, one of the little tidbits we got was the concrete will be, well, the concrete for Ohio Stadium was 18,000 yards, and the concrete for all the fabs will be 400,000 yards. And they've got a couple concrete plants there that are making the concrete, rather than relying on companies to ship it there, truck it there. Another thing I thought was interesting is that they've dug the basement for the fab, and they called it the largest basement in Ohio. I think that's really accurate. It's just huge. It's just huge.
And then it's going to be 4 stories high.
Right above that. So anyway, very interesting, great to see Intel making progress. Now they're talking late 26 for the first full-scale production of chips there. So big project, obviously takes a long time to get done. One of the things, obviously, every year at the fair is the Little Brown Jug. For the first time ever, we got $1 million for the purse for the Little Brown Jug, which was huge. The crowd was bigger. There were more horses participating. It was just a very exciting, very big day for the Jug, the fair, and Delaware County. And I want to thank Governor DeWine, because he was the chief sponsor of an additional $250,000 in funding for the Jug, which enabled us to get to that $1 million purse, along with some other things that we did. But again, thanks to Governor DeWine, who normally he comes, but unfortunately he had COVID and couldn't make it, so he wasn't even there. Lieutenant Governor Houston did make it, and we greatly appreciate the support in Columbus for this very important event. And it's great for harness racing, it's great for agriculture throughout the state. Another thing, Miss Ohio was there. She was at the fair, good bit of the week. She was at the Veterans Dinner, and she was a Little Brown Jug, and she is an Ohio Wesleyan graduate and lives in Delaware, and she's going to be going to the Miss America
I believe she
contest.
worked at Destination.
Yeah, she used to
for
work
a
at
period of
Destination
time
Delaware for
as
Tim
well.
Wilson. So anyway, again, that was great to see her, and she was at the Vets Dinner, and very much a passion of hers is respecting and honoring our vets. So it was really neat to see her. Let's see, we all were at the junior fair auction at one point or another and buying different things.
Yeah.
And that's always a lot of fun. I know Dawn has kids that show there, or not kids anymore, but kid that showed there this year. But again, great time. We got a land bank board meeting this afternoon, other events throughout the week, and I think that's it. We do.
I might add, if I may,
Sure.
the auctions that you brought up, because I frankly had forgotten about it. It's always great. These kids are fantastic. It just makes me feel good about this younger generation and where it's going. And then I also like to thank the people that bid. There was a way to return to these kids, and the work they put into it is through those who bid. And a lot of people in our community support these young people, and just a general shout out to all those people, and a thank you to all of them. So
Yeah.
it was a great Tuesday, Wednesday evening.
Yeah, the kids work so hard, and it's fun seeing the small kids handling these big hogs, trying to get these hogs, which are kind of characters to begin with, kind of go their own way, but maneuver these hogs around. It's just
The
the
hogs are
sheep.
the kids.
Well, the kids are characters too, but the hogs are 300-pound characters.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so it makes it a little more challenging. But, so anyway, great event. Again, there were probably a couple hundred buyers there, and hundreds of kids at the two nights of auction. Okay, so we do have executive session.
We do. Resolution number 23-823, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of appointment of a public employee or public official for pending or imminent litigation, and to consider confidential information related to economic development.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 23-823. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?